Good morning to all my friends at Parker Elementary. I'm Miss Purser, and I am so happy to be reading the book to you today. Ricky, the Rock That Couldn't Roll, written by Mr. J and illustrated by Aaron Wozniak. Ricky, the Rock That Couldn't Roll. Over the lake and out past the bay was a green grassy hill where the rocks came to play. They would race to the top to take in the view, then roll their way down, the way rocks love to do. There was Kip and Pip and Chester and Marvin the Boulder. Ignatius played too, though he was much older. And a group called the Pebbles never ever sat still, zigzagging their way up and over the hill. Kai was a meteorite and not from this planet, and Maya was lava, but she was taken for granted. Stu was the smart one, Parker the clown, and grumpy old Albert rolled round with a frown. How do you make a tissue dance? Asked Parker. Seriously, Albert? You put a boogie in it. Gabby was sassy, Leslie had flair, Emma was giggly, and Hud had black hair. But the one trait that seemed to be shared by all of them was that every rock there was shaped like a ball. And because they were round, they could easily roll through the grass, past the lake, up and over the knoll. Except for poor Ricky. Ricky was quite sad. He sat quietly. You see, Rick couldn't roll because one side was flat. His friends just didn't get it. Come on, roll, they would chant. So Ricky tried to, but replied, I'm sorry, I can't. All his fellow rock friends wanting him to roll. But the rocks were determined. They were sure they could solve Ricky's flat-sided problem and help him revolve. So Marvin the Boulder, with his impressive physique, carried Rick all the way to the hill's grassy peak. Then he pushed him down, yelling, keep rolling, kid. But Rick didn't roll. He just kind of slid. Well, the rocks weren't done. Not by a mile. Surely this next try would get Rick to smile. They stuck rubber balls all over Rick, using big gobs of glue to get them to stick. They were proud of themselves. This will work, they announced. But Rick still couldn't roll. Now he just sort of bounced. Well, they pushed and they pulled, trying every which way to get Rick to roll. But by the end of the day, nothing had worked. Just like Rick expected, and he ended up feeling depressed and dejected. "It's no use," Ricky sighed. "There just isn't a way, so I'll just sit off to the side and watch y'all play." But his friends wouldn't quit. "We're here for you, brother, and we'll get you to roll one way or another." So they pondered and they thought, each straining his brain, till they looked up and saw it was starting to rain. And that's when it hit the smart snow named Stu. "Eureka!" he shouted. "I know just what to do." He explained to them how they would get rich to tumble. "My plan is pure genius." Stu wasn't too humble. So they carried our hero down the road about a mile, so the lake where they gathered up all the mud they could pile. On the flat side of Rick, creating a mound, they shaped and smoothed and sculpted until it was round. Then after the rain, with the sun in the sky, they left him to bake till the mud was all dry. They gathered up the vines and one colorful feather, and they wrapped it around Rick to keep it all together. When the last knot was tied and the work was all done, the only step left was for Rick to have fun. They stood back and watched, feeling nervous and tense, as Rick breathed in deep with increasing suspense. He moved slowly at first, testing out his new mold, and then, for the first time, Ricky the Rock rolled. Sabria, the ladybug, who'd been there from the start, felt a surge of pure joy swell up in her heart. She thought as she watched her friends play on the hill that there's always a way if there's also a will. And then she said to herself as Ricky rolled down the slope, "When you're surrounded by love, you always have hope." I hope you enjoyed that story. You know, we all have things we can do and things that we can't do. And isn't it wonderful when somebody loves you enough to help you do the things that you thought you couldn't do? I hope you have a great day. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.